Good morning, everyone. Shawn Clement here, Wisdom in Golf at the fabulous Royal Quebec Golf Academy here in Quebec City. And today we're going to be talking about, hey, it's about time you stop being scared to move, because this machine at 40 million bits of information per second is an amazing mover, and it's a gravity genius. So there's so many amazing things that are going to happen when you allow the body to react to the arm swing. And that's really how it works. If you go, one of my favorite hammer throwers on the planet by far, her name is Yipsy Moreno. So check out on YouTube, Yipsy Moreno, Tokyo, Japan hammer throw. And let me know what you think. So if we grab our favorite ball on a string and we set the ball in motion. So you notice, in order to get the ball in motion, my hand is reacting to the weight of the ball. So as it's up, it's basically coming down with it, and as it's down, it's pulling back up. So if my hand didn't go up and down, well, I'd be out of juice. So then I would have to supply the juice from somewhere else. Now you can also do it with your legs. Just like when you were a kid on a swing, you wanted to swing higher, you would pump the swing at just the right time and you would soar higher into the air. So it's a very, very natural phenomenon. Let's say we're playing horseshoes. I like to go get these little 3-pound hammers over at Home Depot. And if I was tossing horseshoes just to that first stone right here, you would notice that I'd be using the weight of that horseshoe and I'd be letting it swing from the shoulder socket down. So I wouldn't try to be careful and guide that heavy piece of steel. So I'm going to allow, there we go, now I can let the other arm go at the same time. So notice how I'm using the ground to turbocharge that hammer into the air. So if I want it to go farther, let's say I want to go twice the distance, heave it up onto the deck. So I didn't push any harder with my arm. I pushed a lot harder off the ground with my legs, and this is what pulled the hammer out of my hands. All I had to do is figure out when to let it go. And because I have a target, the upper deck, my brain knew when to let it go to give it the arc that it needed to get up onto that upper deck. So if we look at it down the line here, so I'm just going to toss this to the base of the hill. See that? And just have fun tossing it around the backyard like that and see if you can, get into a competition closest to the pin. And then you want to do it with both hands. So then that 3-pound hammer, grab it with both hands like you're doing a long chip shot. You don't want to let your wrist hinge here, because you're going to feel one heck of a big, pull on your shoulder sockets at the bottom here, and you don't want it to, hurt yourself. So it's a straight arm toss. Notice how I'm using my legs to heave it out into the direction I want it to go. And then finally, of course, my favorite sledgehammer, a nice 6-pound sledgehammer, and you'll notice that this has to be really respected. So notice I am reacting to the weight of this so that I don't hurt myself. And out of pure self-preservation, I'm making exactly the movements that I'm supposed to do. So as I go back, I don't want it to fall behind me, then I can't swing it back towards the target. So if I'm going to swing it right over that hammer, it's got to swing in front of me here. Now I'm just riding that momentum over that hammer. You see how accurate that is. So we do the same thing with the golf club. And we're just turbocharging the swing of the club in that direction. And for many of you, you're thinking, oh my God, look at his head's going up and down. Isn't that bad? I've been told to keep my head still, keep my head steady. you can do it with any kind of measure you want. So if you feel that, hey, in the backswing, you're going to stay nice and quiet and then give it a swing. You'll see a lot of the players on tour do that. We just came out of a 30-year be careful, watch out, don't move spell in this game that's really hurt a lot of people and it's hurt a lot of games. And, you know, because I realized this a long time ago, well, I've got the full Monty. And for many of you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's all over the place. Well, let's say I got my dandelions all lined up in my backyard here. And you look at, I'm going to swing it back and through without stopping. Notice I keep cutting the grass. You see my head bobbing up and down, just like a normal person walking down the street. My brain says, hey, look at that, it's passing right there. So since it's passing there, I can just predict how far I can walk to catch that next ball. And look at that, dead straight, and that landed right over the flagstick where this thing is aimed. So it is extremely accurate because I'm reacting to the swing of the arms at 40 million bits of information per second, instead of trying to guide and piecemeal my swing at 40 bits a second. Man, that's way harder. So I'm going to give, you know, everything to what God gave me. This is my body, not yours. And in my body, when I'm letting my arm club unit swing, well, this is where it wants to pass. So I bring it over, and now what I'm doing is I'm feeling the weight of my arm club unit, and I'm allowing the weight of the arm club unit to track like a ball on a string. So if I do it above the ball, look at that, I got a reference again. So I see in my mind that I'm missing the ball about that much. So I bring it down. Well, if I let it go now, it feels like I'm going to top it. So I'm going to let it go. I'll get a little lower. Let it go some more. There we go. We got a nice top shot. Let it come down some more. Now it feels like the sole of the club wants to drag through the dirt. And there we go. Nice contact with the ball. A little bit to the left, but really well struck. Oh, there we go. It's in between the posts. So I am letting the weight of my arms and club track an arc. And then if I want to turbocharge that arc, I'm doing exactly like the kid on a swing. And that's why you'll see Molinari is now really gathering the ground in his practice swings and jumping up to get a much better sense of what that is. And then people are starting to realize that it's way more rhythmic to do it that way. You look at JT Poston, I'm going to talk about his swing in the next video, and you look at Vaughn Taylor. They got these beautiful long swings now, these beautiful long arcs that are way easier to time, because here is that cycle of momentum. If I'm a cowboy with a lasso, notice how there's a cycle that occurs in that lasso, and I got to wait for the next cycle to be accurate with that throw. Same thing here. The body is waiting for the weight of my arms and club, the weight of the circle, and it's just timing that. See how I'm using the ground to turbocharge through the ball and out into that picture. So we got three little seagulls there right next to that flag. So we're going to do a little draw. It's going to start a little right of that. So I'm feeling the circle tracking in that direction, and I'm allowing it to, and then I'm just going to time when I'm going to turbocharge through this dandelion stem out there. So I gather, and I'm using the ground to send it out there. Ooh, that was a good strike. Started right on the line that I wanted to, and it just stayed a little right. So there's your draw that starts in the center of the green, trying to draw back to the pin that's on the left side, and it just stays in the center of the green. So you'll notice that catching the ball solid is really going to pay off. And this is where we found that we have so many of our students that have gotten rid of their shanks from feeling that, right? So if I can feel how my arm club unit is, when I can feel it track, I know where it's going to pass. Awesome. So if I had a ball and a tee like this, notice where the blur of the club is passing? And all I'm doing is just let it turbocharge through the tip of the tee in the direction I want it to go. So I'm just hovering there, and I'm feeling that my arm club unit is already tracking that arc, and I'm allowing it to track. All right, there you go, birds. All right, landed right on top of them. So the weight of this arc can easily be felt, and you can see that nice pause at the top of my backswing. That's just me waiting for the weight to stop going up and start coming down. And your brain just knows exactly when, just like a kid on a swing, it knows when to apply the push into the ground. And so as long as you're directing the energy out there, so if I'm throwing my club in that direction, throw the club that way versus throwing the club into the ground. See what happens? So all of you who feel that early extension, well, you're just sending everything at the ball. See that? Versus sending everything towards the target. So the timing of the push is in reaction to where you want to direct the swing. So I want to go that way towards my target. If I'm over here, I can't go, can go. So if the sole of my club cuts through the grass in that direction, the ball's going to go there. So now I'm turbocharging the blades of grass in the direction of that target. So I gather and turbocharge it over there. Best one yet. I think we'll end on that one. So hope you enjoyed that, and looking forward to bringing you a little bit more on JT Polton. Is it Polton or Polson? Poston. No, that would be JT Poston. Sorry, JT. So we'll see you in the next one. All the best.